Welcome back to Joy TV, guys. So, my people, let's listen to this news. What Peter Obi is saying here is true. In Nigeria, people don't work for their money, especially the politicians. So, my people, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and help me share this video. Okay, let me leave you guys to watch the video and see what Peter Obi is saying here. If he's saying the truth or if he's lying, please, guys, put it under the comment section and leave your opinion. Okay, let me leave you guys to watch the video.
Into confidential information, you have about $500 million squirreled away in the British Virgin Islands and in Switzerland. Can this amount be described as legitimate earning?
You know, when people banding money, we talk about money and size of money here, it's because we're not a productive country. People don't work for their money, so we find it to understand value of money. And I'll take time to explain this to you. Globally today, the world population is 7,750,000,000, out of which only 37.5 million is worth $1 million. That is 0.05%. Only 3 million, which is 0.04%, is worth 10 million. And only 300,000 is worth $25 million, which is 0.004%. So when people call these figures, it's alarming because of the fact that we live in a country where people make money they don't need and everything. If you go anywhere near this company being mentioned, its accounts, everything globally, and find more than about 3% of the value you mentioned now, 3%, I'm talking about $15 million, out of which 70% is supporting a loan of investment in this country, then confiscate everything, even confiscate everything I have in my life. If you go to this, do you know what $500 million is? $500 billion today in Nigeria is almost 300 billion naira. My entire earning while I was governor, Anambra State received, was under 500 billion, out of which I say 15%, 75 billion. That is what talking about. I don't know where people call figures here, and that's why people try to make money they don't need. What do you need that type of money for? Why do you have to do that? The money, the trust company is there. And one of the challenges I'm going to throw today is to ask you and some other people to select 1, 2, 3, 4 persons that have foot their bill to follow the trail of this company to where it is today. And see the formation, who gave the advice, how we came to it and everything. Please, there's nothing, you wouldn't even find 5% of that, of what the figure you called anywhere. If I have $500 million, well, I don't know what I'll be doing. You would have seen me building, you know how many schools and institutions I support. I'll be building universities all over the place.
Let's talk about Next International UK. They said you didn't resign as a director, of Next, and 14 months after you became the governor, you were still director of Next. Tell us about this Next International company.
Let me tell you. Let me start. Next International we had a company in Nigeria called Next International Nigeria Limited. It's an offshoot of Next International Nigeria. That was Next International UK, which I run as managing director and everything. This company is a UK-based company. It's a brand management company that we're representative of companies like Heinz, a number of multinational companies in West Africa, and I was the CEO. And it's good that I tell you the background of how I became governor. I was living in the UK, operating in Nigeria. I declared the governor and winner of the election on Thursday, 16th of March, 2006. On that day, I was presiding over Fidelity Bank board meeting as the chairman. And I have members, you can ask this. One of the members is somebody you value a lot, Bismarck Rwani was a member of the board. Leighton Dubiscama was a member of the board. Jara Magoro was a former under chairman, was a member of I was the chairman. I was presiding over a board meeting, and suddenly Leighton Dubiscama said, "Stop, Mr. Chairman." I said, "Well," he said, "You've been declared the governor of Anambra State." That was on a board meeting, and that's how the meeting stopped. From there, I called, and they said, "You have to proceed to Abuja to meet INEC to give you certificate of return." So I left board meeting, went to the airport, got the next flight, went to Abuja. By 6 p.m. that day, they gave me certificate of return. And I said to them, I want to go back to Lagos the next day to bring my clothes, just clothes, to bring a few things so I can go to Oka for this way. They said, no, that please, you need to proceed to Oka immediately because the then governor, Dr. Chris Ngige, because of his circumstances, I've left the country. Immediately I was declared, he lost his immunity, so he left through the borders and left out of the country. So there was no government in Anambra State. So that's how the next morning I moved to Oka. Arrived Oka, just took a flight to Enugu, arrived Oka. As I arrived Oka, they took me to the chief judge in a small space. He said, these are forms for you to fill to declare your assets. I filled that form about 30 minutes, whatever I could remember. The next night I was sworn in as governor. When I finished the swearing in, I asked, okay, so I'm not sworn in. Where does the governor live? They say, because that time the governor's lodge was burned down, the office. I said, where is the governor live? They said, there's no house. Where is his office? There's no office. So what do I do? Any paper, anything? Nothing. I managed to get across to somebody who got across to Chris, who said, there's nothing. So I moved to my village. And that was where I stayed there. That was the government. From there, I phoned every company. Let me start with Next International UK. Next International UK, just to show you, I brought this and I keep it with you people. Next International UK is a company that is, as at that date, I'm telling you, received overdraft from Lloyds Bank of over $7 million. This is a trading company. As at that day, I have over 200 containers on the sea and everything. And I've just been announced governor. And here I'm running a company. So the only thing I could do is to phone my wife and said, because she works with me, everybody knows in the company, I'm the CEO, she's my deputy with other. I said, you take charge, I will never come to London again, see what has happened to me. And I was chairman and director of about 11 companies, even in Nigeria. I phoned all of them, said I've resigned. It is from that day that I went to Oka until I was impeached in November, I never left Oka. Not one day. I resigned. You know, and I wonder what, even at times, I even wonder why is there an issue 15 years after I was supposed to resign.
So did you
resign
the needful
completely?
And did you also put Next in your form? Did you the asset declaration form? Did you declare Next in there?
You know, when they talk about the declaration of forms, what I just said that again. I said what I declared. When you talk about declaration, I just told you a story now. This company is owned by Next Nigeria. Because at times they say, "Oh, you didn't declare." I said, "No, I didn't declare one." Assets with people, I didn't declare some assets because those assets have been declared somewhere. So if I declare Next Nigeria that I own 5%, I don't have to declare another interest that Next Nigeria owns. Just like they went to say, and I didn't declare something because they were subject of things that were bought from borrowed money. If I come and if you could borrow money from me and buy this suit, when they ask the owner, you have to put remark that you're owing somebody because it's not your suit. I can come to collect it tomorrow. So what I tell people is that I declare things that belong to Mr. Peter Obi. Not even Peter Obi and wife and children. No, because I can tell you, I don't know how other people operate. In my house, my wife will always remind me that this thing belongs to me. It's not your own, no. And my children will do it with emphasis. My daughter will even do it with emphasis. Daddy, we agreed that this thing is this. So if you want to, let me tell you, when I said I want to go and do politics, it's not the first thing they will ask me. Daddy, I hope that what you're using to do is your politics is your own money. Don't bring us into it. We are not part of it. So I don't go and decide declaring things that does not belong to you. You declare things. The purpose of assets is to declare, and most of the assets are declared have been declared somewhere. So you can't declare a company. For example, I own shares in a bank with my name. I declared it. I didn't declare the one say Next International owes because I've already declared my interest in Next International. It will amount to double declaration.
Well, except that, you know, someone will say in the assets declaration form, you're also required to state the assets, you know, that you jointly own, either with your spouse or, you know, that belong to your children. But the question has been that when you set up a trust or a company overseas, do you agree with those who have been alleging that this is strictly for the purpose of tax evasion, to avoid tax due to the Nigerian government?
Ruben, I can tell you, I'm a faithful citizen of anywhere I've passed through. I cannot evade tax. It will never happen. Every investment I've done globally is legitimate and pays tax. I just shown a paper and said I live here. If you're a black man in London, you're a suspect. If you're in Nigeria, you're a double suspect. For me to live in the UK where my bank can write here and say his account has been conducted in an impeccable manner and gives me over $7 million overdraft. Ruben, that's all. I pay my taxes. If I earn anything in the UK, I pay the UK government their tax. I own a property in London. I pay tax. I cannot come and pay property tax in Nigeria for a property I own in the UK. Money I earn here, I pay tax. Don't forget that I was subject to probe of tax about 2 years ago in Anambra State. And I showed evidence that in the past 20 years, I've consistently paid my tax and I've never paid less than 50 million naira annually.